Hey, DPL crew, what's good? It's your boy Big Meech, and you already know it's Ohio State Michigan week. Welcome into Double Play Live, tapping in on TikTok at Double Play Live, YouTube at Double Play Live, Facebook at DPL Ohio, and now on X at Double Play Live. And today, we taking it back to where this whole thing really flipped. Not 2022, not 2023, not even last year's 13-10 rock fight in Columbus. I'm talking 2021, snow falling in Ann Arbor, number 2 Ohio State's in town, and the big house is shaking. And a Michigan tailback named Hassan Haskins putting his name in the history books, and Ohio State in the graveyard. Let's set the table. It's November 27th, 2021, and Michigan's sitting there in the top 10. Ohio State is number 2, and all anybody's saying all week is that same tired Buckeye story. Harbaugh can't beat Ohio State. Michigan can't get over the hump. And it's just different when they see that Buckeye helmet. Ohio State had won 8 straight in the rivalry. Michigan hadn't beaten them since 2011. 10 years. Whole era of kids growing up not seeing Michigan beat OSU. And then the script flipped. Michigan said, cool, you got your quarterback, your 5-star receivers, we're going to throw it all over the yard on you offense. But Michigan said, we're going to bring snow, pads, and pain. They lined up and said, hey, here's what we doing. We run right at you. You know it, we know it, and you still can't stop it. And the man holding the rock that day, Hassan freaking Haskins. Let me read this off for the folks in the back in Columbus. 28 carries, 169 rushing yards, and 5 big rushing touchdowns, all by one man, one tailback, one afternoon. Those 5 TDs did 3 things at once. In the series history, it's the most touchdowns any running back has ever scored in a single Michigan-Ohio State game. Nobody in 120-plus years of this rivalry ever did what Haskins did that day. In Michigan history, those 5 touchdowns tied the Michigan single-game touchdown record. We're talking joining legends like Ron Johnson from way back in '68. Haskins' name is etched right next to him. And in the program turning point, that performance helped launch Michigan into the Big Ten championship game for the first time ever, and its first Big Ten title since 2004. It wasn't just numbers, it was a culture reset. And it wasn't cute, it wasn't gadgety, it was old school Big Ten football. Michigan as a team had 297 rushing yards that afternoon. Ohio State, 64. So all that speed talk, and they were stuck at 64 yards on the ground. We had Aiden Hutchinson on the other side racking up 3 sacks, breaking the single-season sack record at Michigan and living in the backfield. But Haskins, man, every time he needed a response, OSU finally scores, Haskins answers. OSU threatens, Haskins slams the door. Game's in the balance in the second half, Haskins just keeps leaning on him till them Buckeye shoulders start turning sideways. By the time he dove in for touchdown number 5, it wasn't just points on the boards. It was a statement. This ain't your older brother's Michigan anymore. That 42-27 final was more than a score. It was Harbaugh's first win over Ohio State, the end of that 8-game losing streak, and a ticket punch to Indy where they blasted Iowa and took the Big Ten crown. And it lit the fuse on what we're living in right now, Michigan's 4-game winning streak in the game. Let's walk it down real quick. 2021, Haskins goes for 5 TDs, 42-27 in Ann Arbor. 2022, we walk into Columbus, second half fireworks and big runs from Donovan Edwards, and we walk out 45-23. First back-to-back wins in the series since the 90s. 2023, 30-24 in the big house. J.J. McCarthy and Blake Corum closing it out, 3rd straight over the Buckeyes. And last year, 2024, they go back down to Columbus. It was ugly, cold, and a defensive slugfest, but they walk out with a 13-10 upset. Khalil Mullins runs wild. Dominic Zavada hits the go-ahead field goal with under a minute left, and the Michigan defense holds OSU to just 10 points and 77 rushing yards. That's 4 in a row officially in the books. The rivalry page says it. Current streak is Michigan, 2021 to present. And it all started with that Haskins game in 21, win number 1 of the current streak. Fast forward to right now, 2025. We're sitting in Ann Arbor again, staring at another chapter of the game coming up on November 29th. Noon kick on Fox, game of the week. The whole country's going to be locked in. But let's check the stakes. Ohio State rolls in 11-0, 8-0 in the Big Ten, sitting at number 1 in the college football playoff rankings. And Michigan comes in 9-2, 7-1 in league play, ranked 18th in those same college football playoff rankings, quietly playing its best ball late in the year. The Big Ten doesn't even have divisions anymore. It's straight. Finish top 2 in the conference and you going to Indy. So this game is a de facto play-in. You win this, you're right in that conversation with Indiana and Oregon for a spot in the Big Ten championship game. And in the brand new 12-team college playoff where there are 5 automatic bids for conference champs and 7 at-large spots, beating number 1 Ohio State is exactly the kind of thing that rockets you up the board. The CFP expanded starting with the 2024 season, and now in 2025 you got on-campus first-round games, then quarterfinals and bowls like the Rose, Sugar, Orange, Cotton. That's the coveted 12-team playoff we're always talking about. So for Michigan, this year's game is about 3 things. Make it 5 straight over Ohio State. Play your way into Indy and a shot at another Big Ten title, and force your way into that 12-team playoff picture, whether it's as a conference champ or that nightmare at-large that nobody wants to see in December. And when you look at it through the lens, 2021 hits even harder, because think about this. Before that day, Ohio State fans were talking like this rivalry was over forever. But since that day, Michigan's won 4 straight. They've won in Ann Arbor and in Columbus. They've won shootouts like 42-27 and 45-23. They've won grinders like 10-13. They've sent quarterbacks, running backs, defensive ends straight into the Heisman race and the record books. And the spark for it all of it was that one tailback in a snowy game. Hassan Haskins, 28 carries, 169 yards, 5 touchdowns, a series record, a program record tie, and a rivalry reset. That game is literally the foundation of this current era. It's win number 1 of the streak we're trying to stretch to 5. So here's what I want from the DPL crew. If you watch that 2021 game live, drop your favorite Hassan Haskins moment in the comments. Was it the hurdle, the last TD, or the students rushing the field? Let me know. Where does that 5 TD day rank in your all-time Michigan memories of the game? And then give me your score prediction for this year. Does Michigan make it 5 straight? Do they punch that ticket to Indy and kick the door in on the 12-team playoff? Hit the comments, argue it out, and you already know we always feature the best ones on the live. I'm Big Meech, and this is Double Play Live. Make sure you stay locked in. TikTok at Double Play Live, YouTube at Double Play Live, Facebook at DPL Ohio, and the new X page at Double Play Live. Michigan, Ohio State, it started with 5 touchdowns in the snow, and now we're chasing 5 straight in this series. I'll see y'all on game day. Go Blue.